Amazing love.
It is usually the case that when the head of the house passes away, children will suffer if there is no proper provision. As Mrs. Chimbozo was explaining in the past segment, she went through a tough time when her husband had died and someone had possessed their home and did not want to let go of their home. She narrated to us how she even approached the courts. She tried the government lawyers to no avail. I welcome you viewers to the second segment as we continue with her journey to hear what happened next. What was happening to your state of mind at that time? You explained that you were working in the fields, cleaning houses, your son even helping you. But what was the state of your mind at that time?
I was in a terrible state, I'm telling you. I thought I'd completely lost it. I was devastated. I had no one to turn to. But one day, it was on a Sunday, when I was sitting in church, I couldn't pray during that time. It was so difficult. I couldn't talk. I was depressed. I was on the verge of collapse. So that Sunday, I didn't know that God had remembered me, the God of Prophet and Prophetess Ruth Makandiwa. After the service, I ran after Mama Prophetess. I ran. Even the ushers and the security people, they couldn't hold me back. I ran and I got hold of Mama's dress and I cried. I cried so much that she even cried when she looked at me. And I told him my story. Before I could finish my story, I'm telling you, that woman is a woman of God. She's so humble and kind and loving. She lifted me by the hand and took me outside the church. She asked me what my problem was, and I told her. And at that moment, I could feel as if something had been lifted from me, that heaviness. It suddenly disappeared after she talked to me. She even introduced me to a lawyer. I had nothing, not even a cent. But she told me that she was going to foot every legal charge. After I'd spoken to her, I went back home. I could even feel the spirit of prayer. Before then, I couldn't even pray. But after that incident with the prophetess, I could start praying. I started praying. It just came back. I don't know what happened.
So what happened now that she had introduced you to her team of lawyers?
One lawyer phoned me and I was at home. They invited me to their offices in town. I went there. They took my statement, wrote everything down, and they told me that with the God of Prophet and Prophetess Ruth Makandiwa, nothing is impossible. The prophetess had approved my case and they were going to take my case.
And how did you feel at that moment when
I
they
was
told
so
you that?
happy. I could even eat. Before then, I couldn't eat. I had a lump on my throat. But after that incident, I could eat. I could swallow food easily. I could feel that there was a breakthrough already. So after that, they took my case to the High Court. From that moment, there were attacks there and there. They couldn't find the papers. They were saying the papers are missing. But Mama kept praying for me. She encouraged me. And I had the strength to carry on. I had to fight.
And what was the final outcome?
I got my house back in May 2013 because of Papa and Mama. I got finally, after 3 years of struggling, I finally got my house back.
And how did you feel at that moment?
I cried tears of joy. I couldn't speak. I can't explain how I felt in that moment. I was so happy. I was so happy. Even the people in the court, they couldn't believe it. They would say, after 3 years, Mama. And I said, yes, it is the God of Prophetess Ruth Makandiwa.
So your mother-in-law, your relatives who had abandoned you, what did they have to say now that you got your house back?
They were so amazed. They were surprised. They were saying, you, where did you go? Did you visit traditional healers for one. And I told them, no, this is the anointing of my papa and mama that was that fought for me all this while.
Wow. When they did all that for you, introduced you to their lawyers, what was going through your mind at that time?
I was surprised that mama could do something so much for me, a widow like me, because I was a nobody at that time. I was on the verge of collapse. I had given up. I could even tell people that I won't get that house back. Let him take the house because I have no money to pay lawyers to represent me. I have nothing. Because all these free lawyers, they are refusing to take my case. So I had given up completely.
Your encounters with Prophetess Ruth Makandiwa, it is evident that it started to change your life. The wheel started to turn for the process for you to recover your house. What else changed in your life at that period when you encountered the Prophetess?
After that encounter with Mama Prophetess, she asked me if I have children, and I told her that I have 2 kids. And she asked me about the welfare of the children, school fees, uniforms, and I told her that I had no source of income at that time. So she even started paying school fees for my children, bought uniforms, and we were given food monthly.
And how did that change the lives of your children, and what did it do to you?
It was a great transformation in my life and upon my children's life. Even their academic performance, it even improved. They attained first positions in class. There was a great improvement, I tell you.
Amazing. She not only got her to see her own lawyers, paid for the legal fees, but she also started to assist the children and things started to improve. I know you want to hear more of this transformation, so please stay with us.
Amazing love.